Good morning. It is Thursday, March the 9th, 2023. I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Morning Report. The president of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, is in Barbados as part of an official 3-day visit that includes countries in Central America and the Caribbean. He arrived on the island at the Grantley Adams International Airport last evening on this inaugural visit to the island and was met by local VIPs that included honorary IOC member Sir Austin Seeley, President of the Barbados Olympic Association Sandra Osborne, and former BOA President Steve Stout. On his itinerary, the IOC President will pay a courtesy call to the President of Barbados, Her Excellency the Most Honourable Dame Sandra Mason. He'll also have discussions with Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley, along with the Barbados Olympic Association's Board of Directors. This evening, Bach, a 1976 Olympic gold medalist in fencing, will tour the BOA's headquarters and the Garfield Sober Sports Complex in Willie, where he will unveil a new billboard to celebrate the country's sporting achievements. Tomorrow, he will deliver remarks at the medal ceremony of the National Primary Schools Athletics Championships at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex, and also participate in the distribution of medals and trophies to the young athletes. Bach, the third IOC president to visit Barbados since the BOA was recognized by the IOC in 1955, says Barbados is embracing the spirit of Olympism and leading by example.
It's a great pleasure being here in Barbados and paying respect to the great work the National Olympic Committee is doing for the athletes. We are on a sports enthusiastic island, and are looking forward to meeting the people running sport here, of course, in particular the NOC, but also the government authorities. And then, most important, to meet as many athletes in as many sports as possible, because this is what sport is about. It's first of all the joy of life, but it's also the great contribution to society. And there, the NOC of Barbados is leading by example in undertaking so many initiatives, how sport is contributing to an inclusive society, how sport is giving an example in good governance, and how sport is contributing to the realization of the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
In other news now, millions of dollars in unpaid court fines will soon be collected via a new system. Attorney General Dale Marshall, who was quizzed by the media following the annual Grand Conference of the Barbados Police Service, says they've been addressing the matter.
We are currently looking to see to what extent, in terms of dollars and cents, the default rate for people who have been fined for criminal offences but have not paid. And in a recent discussion with Chief Justice, I gather that from the records that we've managed to compile so far, it runs into millions of dollars. And we're going to be we've already had a preliminary discussion, and we're going to be reaching out to those people to encourage them to come and settle their fines, come and do it peaceably before we actually have to take sterner measures to recover those monies.
In another matter concerning the police, investigations regarding the alleged cell phone in the client attorney room are ongoing.
I am waiting on the Commissioner to give me the information as to whether the investigation is complete.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, an official U.S. hearing into the origins of the world pandemic. COVID pandemic has started.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying you can
The U.S. House panel investigating the origins of the coronavirus pandemic held its first public hearing on Wednesday, with Republicans and their witnesses marking an aggressive case that the virus may have already been a result of a laboratory leak, a notion that has become the subject of intense political and scientific debate.
This is the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, and it will investigate where the virus came from. The first hearing comes just days before the third anniversary of the World Health Organization declaring coronavirus a global pandemic. That was back in 2020, of course. More than 7 million people worldwide have died. Heidi Jo Castro reports from Washington, D.C.
We have learned of the list of circumstantial evidence that the virus may have come from a lab, but no smoking gun. And we have learned of the list of circumstantial evidence that the virus came from nature jumping to humans, and yet no smoking gun. That leaves us still with these two varying theories that are competing with each other, and this hearing has not changed that or moved our understanding any further. Now, the intelligence agencies in the U.S. are also split on this question. The U.S. Energy Department as well as the FBI saying that they have low to moderate confidence that the virus came from a lab in Wuhan, China, while the four other U.S. intelligence agencies and the U.S. Intelligence Council saying that they believe with low confidence that the virus came from nature. Now, what the consensus is from all the witnesses we heard from today from the intelligence departments is that to get to the true answer, to solve this mystery, those would have to come from China, and there have been plenty of issues trying to get access and transparency out of the Chinese government.
New intelligence reviewed by officials in the United States suggests that a pro-Ukraine group attacked the Russian Nord Stream gas pipelines in September last year.
The gas leak ended months ago, but the answers as to who carried out the attacks on the Nord Stream pipelines may at last be surfacing. Reports in the US and now the German media suggest an anti-Russian government group based in Ukraine was responsible. According to the German reporting, 6 people, all carrying forged passports, boarded a rented yacht at the German port of Rostock on the 6th of September last year. The yacht sailed up the coast to the town of Vikandars and onto the tiny Danish island of Christiansø, close to the explosions that hit the pipelines on the 27th of September. Almost immediately, Western nations suggested Russia might have sabotaged its own pipelines to create further chaos in Europe's energy markets. Russia accused the United States of being behind it, to remove Russian economic leverage over Germany, a theory endorsed last month in a report by the investigative journalist Seymour Hersh. Now, these revelations becoming a major topic of discussion at Wednesday's European Union Defence Ministers Summit in Sweden.
There are ongoing national investigations, and I think it's right to wait until those are finalized before we say anything more about who was behind.
That has been the line from Western nations since the attack last September. Some now suggest it was a deliberate one to shield Kyiv as it sought more weaponry from Germany, the country from where, without its knowledge, the attack was reportedly launched.
I know the reports about this investigation. I read that with great interest. And we have to distinguish clearly, yes, whether it was a Ukrainian group, so it could have been on Ukrainian behalf, or a pro-Ukrainian one without the knowledge of the government. But I caution against jumping to conclusions.
Pistorius also said it could have been a Russian false flag operation. Ukraine continues to deny involvement.
For me, it's a little bit strange story because this story is nothing with us, and I think that investigation of official authorities will describe every details, because it's like a compliment for our special forces, but this is not our activity.
If this attack can be proven to have been the work of a pro-Ukrainian group, even if not the Ukrainian state, that could still prove tricky for a German government needing to bolster falling public support for its military backing of Ukraine. These latest leaks have emerged well after Germany pledged advanced air defense and tanks to Kyiv.
Well, coming up at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados, in this, the month of the disabled, we'll take a look this morning at multiple sclerosis. couple members of that society will join us as we take a look at that particular condition. It's World Kidney Day today under the theme Kidney Health for All. We will too take a look at that medical condition in Barbados and to find out what is the island doing to assist those living with kidney disease. We'll also share about the Vauxhall Rising Stars as the little ones at that primary school get ready to showcase their best selves. Those and a whole lot more straight ahead at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados. The CBC Morning Report comes back in just a moment.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MC.
Barbados' tourism industry has been falling short of both the regional and global averages for a post-pandemic recovery. This was revealed by the chair of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Renee Coppin, at the association's first quarterly general meeting for 2023. Sharika Griffith reports.
After 2 dismal years brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, the local tourism sector began to show signs of recovery last year. But statistics show it's been at a slower rate than the rest of the region and the world.
This chart gives us a view of where the global performance was, 62.6% of 2019 levels, and Barbados was at 62.1. So we were below global as well as regional averages. The Caribbean on a whole was at 83.7% last year in terms of its recovery.
According to Chairman of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Renee Coppin, there are, however, some promising signs for the current winter season.
From November 2022, our occupancies exceeded 2019 levels by almost 11%. This continued in December, with occupancies outpacing 2019 levels by 2.6%. The STR report for January 2023 showed average occupancy of 79.8%, which was 2.2% above 2019 levels. So the improvements in occupancy performance continue, and we hope that February, when we get that report, will bring similar good news.
Ms. Coppin suggests the current winter performance is being driven by strong airlift, particularly out of the United Kingdom. Following discussions with local tourism officials, Inter-Caribbean Airways will be doubling airlift from mid-March, while Air Antilles has agreed to add 3 additional days to its Barbados service. But the association continues to be worried about the prospects for summer, which as it stands will be punctuated by reduced airlift from key summer markets like the Caribbean and the United States and low occupancy levels.
The projected business on the books for the upcoming months is as follows. March, we have 73% projected based on our sample of members. April, 54%. May, 44%. June, 34%. July, 34%. And August, 29%. This compares similarly with how we were pacing last year. So while we're hopeful that things will be better, the prospects are not actually overwhelmingly in our favor for this upcoming summer. We need to stay close to the activities that are planned and also be open to creating our own opportunities. Crop Over is back, Reggae Festival is back, Food and Rum is again being held in October, and we're seeing return of sporting and groups and activities. So we need to make sure that we are helping to fuel and support the demand that exists where it exists.
As for the cruise sector, the island recorded over 22,000 more landed passengers for January this year when compared to 2022, a figure that surpassed even 2019 numbers. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Barbados is behind the curve in cybersecurity. The admonition came from communications expert and managing director of Neptune Communications, Julian Jordan. He says national security traffic should have its own network. Trevor Thorpe has that story.
The communications expert says government, corporate and the telephone service should have their own dedicated network and not be sharing the internet.
Anything that is connected to the internet is going to be exposed to hackers. Okay, so as soon as you plug in, you need to have protections on your side of your network that make sure that you have done everything you can to make sure that you're protecting the network. It's also true that your policies, how people are trained in using and accessing your local area network and your devices that sit in the computers and the files and so on, that is, typically speaking, a very important area of exposure where people aren't properly trained in how they're supposed to save files.
Mr. Jordan says training is needed in cybersecurity as Barbados and the region are vulnerable to cyber attacks.
The cybersecurity space is a new one, and we need more experts on the ground every day, making sure that the policies and procedures from a network administration perspective are best in class. And until then, we're going to be exposed. And that's the reality of it. And so the way we deal with that is that we sort of take the view that the networks that what I would call national security traffic, okay, the traffic, the internet, and by traffic I mean internet traffic, that needs to be run and operated on a controlled, robust, trusted, separate network.
The communications official called for the Special Network for National Security to be run on a controlled and robust operating system.
Public health information, everybody's medical files, not national security, but it is not something, in my view, that you should be having run over a public network, in the sense that that is traffic and that is sensitive information which really needs to be on a controlled, monitored network for use only by people who ought to have authorized access to it under whatever conditions are set up by policymakers. And that's what Neptune is going to be doing.
The communications expert is calling on government and corporate enterprise to act with urgency in the cyberspace security preparation race. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Barbadians continue to show their support for the fight against obesity as they participated in a recent run and walk race organized by the Obesity Foundation. The proceeds will be used to support and promote healthier lifestyles in Barbados. Rashid Best reports.
As the government continues to encourage Barbadians to live more active and healthier lifestyles, the Obesity Foundation is playing their part in the national fight against obesity. On reflection of the statistics, Dr. Danielle Reed Malilo of the Foundation believes that Barbadians can do more to rectify the high incidence of obesity. This race was one such method, and Dr. Reed Malilo explained how the Foundation intends to spend the money from this fundraising event.
The proceeds from this event will go towards funding our community-based preventative programs, which we'll be having throughout the year. Also our obesity clinic, which will be held at GoMedic, which is my practice. And we will also be making donations to two pre-selected primary schools from this event.
Participants journeyed through sections of St. Peter in the 5 kilometers long run and walk race. A number of them spoke with CBC News and told us of their experiences. They encouraged Barbadians to improve their lifestyles in an effort to combat obesity.
It was good, actually. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of training and stuff, so this is like a training run, for me. So I'm happy with my improvement so far. I thoroughly believe that health is paramount. It is the foundation of everything that we do. So I definitely encourage people to get out, even if you walk, you run, you do sit-ups, but you get up and move.
It's incredibly important. I think that events like this, that if we can just talk to everyone we meet and just bring them along, tell them how exciting and fun it is. And I think once you start either walking or running, especially if you have a group of people to do it with, then it's just like a stone gathering moss, that you just want to do it more.
After the race, Dr. Reed Malilo spoke with CBC News once again to review the event.
I am extremely overwhelmed by the support we had today. We've had lots of runners, lots of walkers. We had a really good warm-up. We have a lot of professional athletes that came out, and this is just the first. We're going to have this annually.
She remains optimistic about future community programs organized by the Obesity Foundation. Rashid Best, CBC News.
Church leaders in the Bahamas are speaking out against behavioral issues being observed in primary school students. The Christian Council sees a greater role for churches to play, as we hear in this Eyewitness News report.
Our society is deteriorating right before our eyes. These are the words of Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernander on the heels of National Security Minister Wayne Munro expressing concerns with the behavior of the country's primary school students.
This is not a government problem. This is our problem. And we have to do more to inculcate our children. And I'm as a Christian, as a pastor, we've moved to take Christianity and put it on the back burner. The principles of Christianity produced a kind of God-fearing nation that we used to know. Today we are so far from where we used to be, and we have to say, are we better? Is this the country we want?
Last week, Minister Munro revealed that he's received reports of grade 2 students making lewd comments to their teachers in front of their peers. He's also heard of students selling drugs on campus and girls inviting other boys to conduct sexual acts. To that, Fernando says it's time for the church to take responsibility and collaborate with the state.
We have to do massive intervention programs in communities that take over territory that gangs have predominantly had. And this cannot be once a month, once a year. You have to have programs that are continuous. And we have to give programs to communities that occupy them until the parents come home.
Senior pastor at Life Worship Center, Denzel Roll, suggests that leaders change their language when dealing with this demographic.
This idea that you don't say the word sex around the little children because they don't know what it is. That has changed greatly. They are so informed. So they're packaging messages in cartoons. Now we can't even let our children watch cartoons the way we used to. We can't allow them to just read a random book because they're being inundated with these messages. And so we have to revisit our methodology because the times have changed greatly.
He's also suggesting that parents, rather than cloaking their kids, use them as agents of change.
We work so hard trying to protect our children rather than spiritually weaponize them, that we must now equip our children because no one can reach children like children. So what you and I got to do, and those who are watching this now, we got to equip our children to be agents of change. What we have been doing with our children is protecting them. Now, you see that person, don't go around them. Don't play with that child there. Don't play with that child there. Don't talk to them. See if you could penetrate that child who causing the problem. Send love on them. We got to trust the good that we put in our children.
Efforts continue by authorities in Guyana to reintegrate and rehabilitate prisoners. To this effect, equipment for information technology labs were gifted to the prisons across the country. We have a report from Newsroom Guyana.
Attorney General Anil Nandlal presented information technology equipment valued over US $150,000 to the Director of Prisons, AG Nicklin Elliott, and Head of the Prisons Welfare and Corrections Department, Marielle Bristol Grant. The Attorney General said the equipment purchase was funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, for the prison education program. He explained that this project aims to train prisoners and provide them with skills necessary to reduce recidivism.
The prison service, as I said, is a central part of the criminal justice system, and the way that things are evolving, there is now a movement away from punitive sanctions, and there is a concentration more now on rehabilitation of the individual in the prison system, as well as exploring new concepts such as restorative justice.
Further, the Attorney General said that facilities and equipment for prisoners to be reformed is paramount for such programs to be successful. With the Luzignan prison currently under construction, the Guyana Prison Service on Monday received air conditioning units, 100 desktop computers, 10 laptops, 4 routers, 4 laserjet printers, and 5 projector screens for the New Amsterdam, Timeri, Luzignan, and Mazarine prisons.
As you're aware, we are responsible for ensuring that those persons are equipped with the necessary skills and tools to make them marketable on their release from prison, and that we will continue to strive for. Last year, we would have trained over 1,400 persons in different skill areas, and this year we are seeking to ensure that all categories of prisoners are exposed to the various types of training programs under our care.
Guyanese from all walks of life came together to participate in the joyful celebration of Holi this week. The city was filled with fun, merriment, and an explosion of color as revelers sprayed and sprinkled beer on each other.
Holi, also known as the Festival of Colors, Festival of Spring and Love, is one of the most popular and significant festivals in Hinduism. It celebrates the eternal and divine love of the gods Radha and Krishna. The day also signifies the triumph of good over evil. Nightly News took its cameras to the lively Pagwa celebrations at the Georgetown Cricket Club, hosted by Indian High Commission of Guyana and the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips urged Guyanese to remain unified as they celebrate the Festival of Colors.
It's a time for love, brotherhood, and a commitment to oneness.
Human Services and Social Security Minister Dr. Vindhya Prasad encouraged Guyanese to showcase positive energy and embrace the mantra of oneness while partaking in the auspicious event.
I want them to make sure that they respect the festival, keep it clean, and bring out all the positives of the festival that embraces unity, that embraces the spirit of forgiveness, and that seeks to bury all differences that exist. The festival is also a time where we connect to our source, our Supreme Lord, our Bhagwan. So stay connected to God in everything that you do.
Region 4 Chairman Daniel Siram said that Holi is a festival that transcends racism and divisiveness.
Everyone from all walks of society and life coming together to have a good time. The atmosphere is very well, very relaxed, very comforting. It's great to see everybody out.
Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, Dr. KJ Srinivasa, in his holy message, wished the nation prosperity and diversity as the country continues to undergo development.
The debut launch of a 3D printed rocket built by California-based startup Relativity Space was cancelled at the last minute yesterday owing to a temperature issue. The company has yet to announce a new launch date. The launch was seen as a key test of the U.S. company's novel strategy for cutting manufacturing costs.
It's a historic first, looking to the future and worthy of space.
So 85% of the rocket by mass that's sitting on the pad right now is 3D printed. That's the rocket prior to this was the highest percentage was probably, I don't know, maybe 4% 3D printed by mass. So it's a huge step change. And as such, we need to prove that a 3D printed rocket can survive the environments of a rocket's flight.
The company says its 3D version is cheaper and quicker to produce than conventional rockets. 33.5 meters long and nearly 2.5 meters wide, the rocket has arrived at the launch pad in Florida's Cape Canaveral. The mission has been named Good Luck, Have Fun, and essentially will test whether the 3D printed rocket can reach and survive orbit, a global first.
So far, everything's looking great. The team has gone through the major reviews that they need to as we head into launch.
If successful, it could in future provide a launch vehicle for commercial satellites, potentially marking a new era in 3D printing and space travel.
Quick look at sports now. The West Indies batting is again letting them down as they're reeling in their first innings of the second test against South Africa. After dismissing the hosts for 320 at the Wanderers this morning with Kyle Mayers ending with 3 for 32, the Windies are 73 for 4 at the lunch break. The not-out batsmen are Roston Chase on 19 and Mayers on 10. All right, let's take a look at forecast conditions now recorded earlier at the Met Office of the Grant Lee Adams International Airport. At the moment, 24 degrees Celsius, mostly cloudy conditions, and the winds are coming from the southeast at 10 kilometers an hour. Expect today a low tide at 9 minutes to 11 this morning, the second at 9 minutes after 11 tonight. We'll have a high tide at 13 past 5 this afternoon. Seas will be smooth to moderate in open water with northerly swells ranging from 1 to 1.5 meters. In Barbados today, partly cloudy to cloudy with sunny periods with a few brief isolated light to moderate showers. Barbados tonight, a mix of clear skies and clouds with the occasional brief isolated light showers. These are some forecast conditions for some international cities. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning.
Well, that's what I say too. Good morning to you, everyone, and welcome to today. Today is Thursday. We're almost to the end of the week. Aren't you looking forward to Friday? It's the best sleep in the house. Indeed, Friday night sleeps are the best. But today being Thursday, the 9th of March, 2023, we say good morning to all of you everywhere. I'm Pearson Bowen. Thank you so much for joining us and joining us on our streams on YouTube and Facebook as well. As always, I encourage you to interact between yourselves and interact with us as well. Now, coming up today, the one-man show by that one man will join us this morning as he takes a look at his theatrical performance, A Man-Child. It started last weekend, it continues this weekend and concludes as well. So what's going on? Why should you be there? He'll talk to us in just a little while. The Artist Studio Tours Barbados continue, and in this month of the disabled, they give support. And so we want to share with you a little bit about how you can lend your support as well when you visit the several artist studios around the island and see the creativity that flow therefrom. What's in the name? Well, this morning when we share with you one of our exceptional young people, you'll recognize the last name for sure. A U.S. Davis scholar will join us this morning, as it is an exceptional youth who hailed from the St. Michael's School. We can't wait to share with you her journey thus far. We'll also today be sharing with you some of the exciting young people at the Vauxhall Primary School. They have upcoming very shortly their Rising Stars competition. What's in that competition? Calypso galore. It's also the month of the disabled, and we will zero in on multiple sclerosis in just a bit. But I want to get started this morning by turning our attention to what today is. Today is World Kidney Day, and as it is, we want to find out now a little bit more about what Barbados is doing to support those who are living with kidney disease. Joining me very shortly, joining me will be Anthony Sobers and Alan Haynes. But before we do, take a look at this.
On behalf of the Barbados Kidney Association, I greet you warmly as the association joins with other like-minded organizations in observing World Kidney Day on the 9th of March 2023. This year, the association is again joining with similar entities around the globe in an effort to raise awareness about kidneys. All across the globe, organizations will host a number of events on this day to create greater awareness of the risk factors for kidney disease, greater awareness of the preventive behaviors, and further awareness of how to live with kidney disease. The World Kidney Day Joint Steering Committee has chosen as its theme for 2023, Kidney Health for All, preparing for the unexpected, supporting the vulnerable. This theme invites us to be fully conscious of how disasters, natural or man-made,
can impact on people living with kidney disease when their access to appropriate diagnostic services, treatment, and care is hindered. It is not only people living with kidney disease and their caregivers, but all society must be prepared to avoid and/or minimize any disruption in access to diagnosis, treatment, and care. In Barbados, there are currently over 400 patients with stage 5 kidney disease who receive dialysis treatment at an annual cost of approximately $18 million. Typically, 50 to 60 of these people die annually. Additionally, over 20,000 people have kidney disease at stages 1 to 4. It is estimated that if 10% of these people progress to stage 5 kidney disease, the treatment costs could balloon to over $100 million annually. There are no known signs of kidney disease in its earliest stages. However, there are several accepted symptoms of chronic kidney disease, including changes in urine, shortness of breath, chest pain, itching, swollen feet, vomiting, and hiccups. However, there are a number of precautionary measures one can take to protect the health of one's kidneys. These include reducing your salt and sugar intake, monitoring your blood pressure, getting regular exercise, not smoking, limiting processed foods in your diet, and ensuring that your annual physical exams include checking your kidneys. In 2023, the Barbados Kidney Association plans to continue its lobby to see legislation enacted to further facilitate kidney transplantation, to stage other events to raise the community's awareness of kidney disease, and to liaise with the emergency services to provide assistance for kidney patients in the event of an emergency. As you continue to monitor the health of your kidneys, may you find strength for the journey through the lives and testimonies of others who have walked the path of chronic kidney disease. The grace of God be with you and with us all.
A message from the Kidney Association of Barbados. And joining us now is the president himself, Alan Haynes, and with him is the voice you just heard, Anthony Sobers, a member. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good, sir. Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us. The theme this year, part of which is preparing for the unexpected. Do you get, I'll start with you, Alan, do you get a sense that Barbadians are paying closer attention to kidney health, and are they preparing for the unexpected?
I would say when you compare us to some of the other islands, we may be in a better shape, but there's still a long way to go in Barbados. I don't think that we are taking it as seriously a problem as it really is. We have 400 persons on dialysis and over 1,000 persons who attend an outpatient clinic.
And so, Anthony, when you look at the statistics, they're startling. Some would say, you know, oh, there's just a few, but that few costs a lot. Let's talk a little bit about why we should not become a statistic.
I think one of the real concerns to me in all of this has to do with our annual surveillance when we go visit our physicians. I am not convinced that enough attention is paid to those who may be at risk. And helping people, we go and we do our checks for prostate cancer, we go and we do our checks for blood pressure and so on. But there's not, in my view, enough attention paid to when our kidney health is declining. There are tests available, blood tests which are available, but I don't think they're usually required or asked for unless the patient themselves may have had some clue and may ask for this, but I think our physicians need to do a little bit more in guiding people as to any declines in their kidney health.
Some hold the view, Anthony, that, you can live with one kidney, so if one is lost, so be it. But that's a pretty lazy approach to tackling the situation, isn't it?
And even if you can live with one kidney, the quality of life that one experiences when one has kidney disease is much reduced otherwise. The time one spends on dialysis, the time one spends feeling generally ill is quite amazing. And if one can do anything to maintain the quality of one's kidney health, one should take the opportunity to do it. This is not a journey that I would recommend for anyone.
And so, Alan, yes, go ahead.
Comment here, Senator, also, because the reality is that most diseases tend to attack both kidneys. So, having an attitude that if you lose one is okay, that's not really practical. A lot of the diseases tend to attack both kidneys at the same time.
And so what is the association, Alan, doing to continue to educate Barbadians about preparing for the unexpected so that we do not find ourselves a part of the statistics?
We have been trying to encourage the ministry to adopt a program called KEEPS. It stands for Kidney Early Evaluation Program. And what we did in our creativity was to put Barbados in front and call it BKEEPS. And what it is supposed to do is encourage people to get tested early at the polyclinic level, at your GP level, at the level of other organizations like the Kidney Association, the Fordham Foundation, who does also free kidney testing at their clinic in Carrington Village.
So there's a lot to be done.
They've done over 1,062 free kidney testings.
Mm-hmm. And so you're having a week of activities to continue to get into the community to share more. What's happening in that week?
We have a church service on Sunday at New Dimensions Church. We are also having, we are decorating the AKU unit today. On Saturday night, we have a panel discussion with 3 kidney recipients, 3 transplant kidney recipients and 2 donors. One of those recipients had a kidney for 45 years, a Barbadian, one of the longest persons in the world. And then on Sunday, we are moving to Coverley. We are going to have a little walk to encourage awareness and also to encourage dialysis space to start moving. People like me who only exercise in our minds to make that little step. So you are free to come to walk from 3 centimeters up to 3 kilometers. And all within Coverley, very, very easily. And those who cannot walk can just sit in a covered area in a chair and listen to some nice music and also meet some of their fellow dialysis friends and comrades.
And come out of the mind and walk physically indeed.
Yes.
Now, Anthony, you said is one of those conditions that one should not want to have. Could you share with us why you say that?
Because it's such an unpleasant feeling when you're not feeling well, and there is no predictability about how one may feel from day to day. I have experienced myself. I may get up in the morning and I feel like I can move a mountain. Within 3-4 hours, I'm feeling ill, and that is quite quite difficult to cope with. Or I may begin a day not feeling well, and somewhere during the course of the day, I've done nothing different, and I feel a lot better later on during the course of the day. So it's a roller coaster that you live on. There is very little predictability. There is very little opportunity to plan what one is going to do during the course of a day. It is not an experience that I would wish on anyone. And if we can do anything to delay the onset of kidney disease, if we can do anything to prevent our kidneys deteriorating, we should be willing to do it. It is well worth it.
Kidney disease can be met on you at any age and at any stage. And yes, you can do a lot to prevent. But what is the statistics in Barbados saying about young people with kidney disease? Who can share?
Alan, perhaps you're better.
Yeah. In fact, I was checking with Dr. Bell the other day, and she was saying that under the age of 20, we have about 5 to 6 persons under the age of 20 with end-stage kidney disease. And we have a number of persons in 20 to 30, and also a few persons under 40. So it's because of our high incidence of diabetes and hypertension, we're seeing a lot more younger people coming down with end-stage kidney disease, which is very worrying.
Indeed, worrying indeed. And so this week, we're asking people to take some time to focus in, get to know more about what's happening when you approach your general practitioners, ask for the tests, ask to know a little bit more about your kidney health as well. And as Anthony said, the roller coaster of emotions, the roller coaster of physical experiences are not things that one would want to live with indeed, but you can live with it because there are services in Barbados which are provided to assist you as you continue to thrive. And though it exists, it costs a lot, and as much as possible we are trying not to add to the cost if we prepare for the unexpected and take greater care of our kidney as well. Gentlemen, I want to thank you. I want to wish you the best as well, all for the remaining of activities for this week, and as we mark World Kidney Day today and the week of activities. Alan Haynes, yes? I
just want to thank on behalf of the artificial kidney unit at the hospital and the nurses, I want to say a thank you to Caribbean Confectionery, Carter's Bakery, Cherish Cosmetic, Crumbs, Nichols, Phillips, Purity, Supreme Distributors, Bibisco, and Zephyrins for providing a nice bunch for them today.
Oh, very good. Very good. Thanks to all of them indeed. And so Alan Haynes, President of the Barbados Kidney Association, and Anthony Sobers, a member, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, sir.
Goodbye.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed. And as broadcasters do, we got to declare it. Anthony is my cousin, but nonetheless, we thank you for joining us. Folks, pay closer attention to your kidney care. We'll take a break right here on Morning Barbados, so we're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
11 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. As you do know, it is the month of the disabled, and we have been focusing in on a number of conditions. And I said it like that because I don't want you to think it is so debilitating that it is a bad thing. We're looking today at multiple sclerosis. Joining me at the moment is Terry Hope. She's a board member of the Barbados Multiple Sclerosis Society of Barbados. Terry, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
You're sitting in a chair because
of the disease multiple sclerosis.
There's a lot of us who don't know what it is and how the condition happens in the first place. What do you know?
I don't know how it comes about, but I do know that it is affected. The normal thing is affecting the spinal cord. You have scars on your spinal cord and on your brain, and that is what causes the different disabilities. It can affect your eyesight, your speech, your hearing, your ability to swallow clearly, walk straight. Yeah, and you have pain. All kinds of things happen with multiple sclerosis.
How did you know, and what caused you to go to have it checked in the first place to find out what was going on with you?
My inability to walk properly.
Really?
Yeah. My left foot was, it would go, instead of going forward, it would go where it wanted to go. Not where I wanted it to. So I went to many doctors. I finally found out through a spinal tap that was in about 37 years ago. Yeah, I've been living with it. And it has its challenges. I went through a myriad of different things. Like I had, at one point I would speak and no one could understand what I said. I fell without knowing what threw me down. And like even swallowing, when you're swallowing, your own saliva causes you to choke. And you start coughing and people ask, what's happening when you're eating? And I said, nothing, it's the saliva. Yeah, so I don't know, and people have a lot of pain. There's persons that go through pain like almost every day. Yeah.
There are physical adjustments. There are also emotional adjustments that you would have had to make.
Yeah.
So how was it for you settling in your mind, because you said you're living with the condition about 30 some years, settling in your mind and in your heart that this is what it is? How difficult?
For me, it wasn't that difficult. I guess I might be different than other people, but when it came about, I didn't know what it was in the first place, but I went on doing what I was doing. I was walking about up to 10 years after the diagnosis, but then it just got worse. I went overseas. I guess I did too much, and it went from there. And I was in a wheelchair from in '95. Yeah.
So it is what it is,
It
right?
is.
And that's the way you trained your thinking.
Yeah.
But and how different is life for you generally, though? Do you feel different?
No, I feel like me. I just I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm the same person.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But how do people treat you?
They treat me well.
Good.
My personality, I like to laugh, smile, I talk with everybody.
Good.
I remember someone telling me, you don't look like you should be in a wheelchair. And I was like, okay.
But you're now a member of the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Barbados.
Yes,
and I suppose that you exist because you want to be able to assist those who are faced with the diagnosis, but you also want to educate us who don't have that diagnosis, so we are also able to understand what's happening. Talk to me a little bit about the programs of your association and the things that you want us as a wider community to be able to understand, so that when we see, we don't scorn.
Exactly. Okay, the society was in existence for 25 years. We celebrated our 25th anniversary in October of last year. We have about 25 active members with varying disabilities. And we want people to know, okay, it is a condition, yes, but you can live with it. It does not cause death. You might be have different things in combination with the MS that might cause the death, but not MS of itself. And like, okay, if you go out, we like to go out. Everybody, we go to whatever events we can get to. We have dinners, lunches, whatever. And we interact with one another. We laugh at one another. If we fall, there was a lady. I had a fall. No, I met my friend fall. You just fall. And we laugh because you fall for no reason.
I like the approach how you just change the thinking about the whole thing. The fall becomes conversation. That's so interesting indeed. But it's a condition with which one can live. You can live and you can continue to live a productive life. We've seen many people who have had multiple sclerosis diagnosis in Barbados who've gone on to have successful careers. And so their parents were watching this morning who are saying to themselves, oh my gosh, that sentence has been put on my child. And you're saying, no, don't approach it in that way. Exactly.
Because I remember many years ago, there was this guy, he had it, but he didn't really handle it very well. And he used to tell me, we sick people, I said, I'm not a sick person.
You're right. You're right. Leslie Walcott joins us now online. Leslie, good morning to you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful.
Good,
Never
you know.
mind.
I know.
The
That's all right. That's all right. Let's talk a little bit about your involvement as someone living with multiple sclerosis as well. What is it that you've noticed about you that's different? And what is it that you've noticed about you that you celebrate?
I celebrate life. And I celebrate the fact that I'm a girl guide.
Yes.
I was a girl guide. Anything we have been blocked. COVID ain't got nothing on us. We have been blocked down from there that we got the diagnosis.
That's an interesting point
So
of view.
Yes.
You know, and that's
Our
the whole.
lives change.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been living with the condition now?
Since 1991.
That's a long time.
91.
And I'm
know.
asking that because I want people to understand that if you are diagnosed with the multiple sclerosis condition, it is not a death sentence. You can live. You just make the adjustments that are necessary, whether there are physical changes to your location, but you share the same degree of love and understanding. But a lot of times, though, Leslie, a lot of people don't quite understand what's happening and they put it down to something else. Terry said her left foot began to behave in its own way. What was it that caused you to have concern to go have it checked in the first place to get the diagnosis?
I went blind. I was at law school and I went blind.
Really?
I was at law school, yeah. Couldn't see. I was watching MNTV back in the day because that's another thing, trying to get us technically savvy is a challenge. But back in the day, there was a picture called Amen. And I used to watch this picture. And watching the picture, everything went black. And then shortly thereafter, I joined the Cape Hill staff, but it was for a frank disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I didn't go in there and dupe them.
Yes.
I let them know exactly what was going on with me, paid a higher premium, and that's another thing. We don't know when this thing will hit. It can be early in our careers. It can be later in our careers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we have it. But what you do with it is critical because you have to, one, do the best that you can do and put arrangements in place. Some of us are married, not that marriage is anything. Never mind, I love my husband.
Not a problem.
Well, some of us are married. Some of us have children.
Yes.
Some of us are so varied in the composition. And I think it's important you really make the most. Don't sit down there in a shell. We have to break up with like a clam.
Yes.
Or an oyster. We have to break out.
Yes.
And we have to show them the difference. We have to show them that we can do things and that things are not foreign to us. That we can do everything. We can swim, and I also think, like, following on from the last presenter, I think it's important to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a girl guy. So I have modified exercises to suit me.
Amen. And that's the whole point of coping and living with. And so, Terry, you know, what Leslie shared is that she's made the adjustments to suit her, but she's still living her full life in her way, but getting it all done. And that's what the society is there to be able to provide guidance for those who are living with the condition as well, who are scared, who don't know what to do. What else is the society doing to be able to reach out, one, and to assist those who come?
Okay, we usually go, well, for the last few years, we were not able to have our walk that we have through town distributing flyers and that thing upon multiple sclerosis. And we try to get people to understand what multiple sclerosis is, what we go through, and why the society exists, so that we can inform new people that what it's about and the public. So, like, okay, well, we had a talk last Saturday with a dietitian and someone talking about the medical marijuana, which is supposed to help with MS. And the dietitian was telling us about our diet and what we should eat. And I don't know if they will ever find a cure for multiple sclerosis, but that is our hope.
Yes.
Yes. And the age range varies, it's like between your 20s and up, because I was diagnosed in my 20s. Yeah.
I know, but it's possible to live through a very possible healthy life and productive life as well. I know we watch international TV, we see all these things on TV that say, you know, if you do this, this is how you can help treat the MS and so forth. And I'm really hopeful that the government of Barbados and the medical associations here are able to collaborate to see how they can bring some of those treatment options to Barbados as well, to create an even better, more productive way of life for people with MS.
There's some medications to slow down the progression, right? And there's Avonex and Beta-Feron and Ocrevus and that kind of thing.
Those things cost.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive.
Ocrevus.
I know it's expensive, so we want to be able to find a way to make it less expensive for people to be able to live with MS in a productive way. But out of time, I really want to wish, you wanted to say something?
Yes, can I please read our mission and our objectives?
Sure.
Our vision, every person with multiple sclerosis has access to services that support and help them to manage the challenges that they face. And our objectives to create a forum through which persons with multiple sclerosis can come together, share ideas, and promote self-help. To create opportunities for the further education of persons, to act as a resource center for persons, and to identify the lobby for benefit of persons with multiple sclerosis, and to sensitize and educate the general public about the condition multiple sclerosis.
Great reasons to exist indeed. I want to thank both of you for joining me this morning. Terry Hope, who is a member of the board, along with Leslie Walcott. Great fun. Yes, Leslie. Have yourselves a great day and enjoy the remainder of your celebrations this month. But I'm hoping that people, having heard this morning, are a lot more sensitive and sensible about what the condition is. And now we know it's nothing to be shying away from, but there are opportunities for us to support people who have multiple sclerosis. I want to thank you all. Wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted,
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In the news now, millions of dollars of unpaid court fines will soon be collected via a new system. Attorney General Dale Marshall, who was quizzed by the media following the annual Grand Conference of the Barbados Police Service, says they've been addressing the matter.
We are currently looking to see to what extent, in terms of dollars and cents, the default rate for people who have been fined for criminal offences but have not paid. And in a recent discussion with Chief Justice, I gathered that from the records that we've managed to compile so far, it runs into millions of dollars. And we're going to be we've already had a preliminary discussion, and we're going to be reaching out to those people to encourage them to come and settle their fines, come and do it peaceably before we actually have to take sterner measures to recover those monies today.
In another matter concerning the police, investigations regarding the alleged cell phone in the client or attorney room are ongoing.
I am waiting on the Commissioner to give me the information as to whether the investigation is completed.
The Barbados tourism industry has been falling short of both the regional and global averages for a post-pandemic recovery. This was revealed by the chair of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Renee Coppin, at the association's first quarterly general meeting for 2023. Sharika Griffith reports.
After 2 dismal years brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, the local tourism sector began to show signs of recovery last year. But statistics show it's been at a slower rate than the rest of the region and the world.
This chart gives us a view of where the global performance was, 62.6% of 2019 levels, and Barbados was at 62.1%. So we were below global as well as regional averages. The Caribbean on a whole was at 83.7% last year in terms of its recovery.
According to Chairman of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Renee Coppin, there are, however, some promising signs for the current winter season.
From November 2022, our occupancies exceeded 2019 levels by almost 11%. This continued in December, with occupancies outpacing 2019 levels by 2.6%. The STR report for January 2023 showed average occupancy of 79.8%, which was 2.2% above 2019 levels. So the improvements in occupancy performance continue, and we hope that February, when we get that report, will bring similar good news.
Ms. Coppin suggests the current winter performance is being driven by strong airlift, particularly out of the United Kingdom. Following discussions with local tourism officials, Inter-Caribbean Airways will be doubling airlift from mid-March, while Air Antilles has agreed to add 3 additional days to its Barbados service. But the association continues to be worried about the prospects for summer, which as it stands will be punctuated by reduced airlift from key summer markets like the Caribbean and the United States and low occupancy levels.
The projected business on the books for the upcoming months is as follows. March, we have 73% projected based on our sample of members. April, 54%. May, 44%. June, 34%. July, 34%. And August, 29%. This compares similarly with how we were pacing last year. So while we're hopeful that things will be better, the prospects are not actually overwhelmingly in our favor for this upcoming summer. We need to stay close to the activities that are planned and also be open to creating our own opportunities. Crop Over is back, Reggae Festival is back, Food and Rum is again being held in October, and we're seeing return of sporting and groups and activities. So we need to make sure that we are helping to fuel and support the demand that exists where it exists.
As for the cruise sector, the island recorded over 22,000 more landed passengers for January this year when compared to 2022, a figure that surpassed even 2019 numbers. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Thank you, Sharika. That's news until now. More news here on TV8 at 12 noon. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 minutes after 7 o'clock, let's meet some rising stars right now from the Vauxhall Primary School. That's because they're having the Rising Stars competition, and it's a competition in performing arts. And joining us now is the coordinator and a teacher, Caroline Holford Sam. With her are two of the contestants, Ramaya Majestic Maya Wilson and Rebecca Carrington. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Miss Holford Sam, start with you. And I'm saying like that because the children are watching. I don't want them to think, we call her by her first name. Miss Holford Sam, talk to me a little bit about this competition and why the school is doing it at the Vauxhall Primary.
Okay, our competition is called Vauxhall Soca Rising Stars competition. It started in 2018 when we wanted to do something for the children, just showcase their talent. And we initially started with the children singing covers of local artists. Then in 2019, we decided to grow a bit, where we had some help from the NCF, the children, and Dr. Stefan Walcott, where the children were able to have original songs. Then we went on in 2020, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to shut it off, actually the day before our competition. And what the program is about is a full developmental program where we try to develop the children's talents. Also, we look at things like public speaking. We look at the keeping the culture alive, basically. Mm-hmm. Last year, 2019, we had one contestant going to the Junior Monarch. We were successful last year, where we had 3 contestants going into the Junior Monarch competition. So the program is growing from strength to strength. This year, we are actually no longer using tracks. We have incorporated the BCC band with the kindness of Roger Gittins and his team. As I said, we had support from the NCF, and a lot of local artists would have come through to lend their assistance. We have assistance from the Ministry of Education through Randy Eastman. We have Sluggy Dan. We would have had the late observer coming in. We had Terry Williams, Sammy G. Actually, PC Brooms, he also lent his hand for the competition as well. So that's what the competition is about.
It's going to be a brilliant competition. I know, because I recognize, having gone to do coverage of the Junior Model, so many students came from your school. And that is really good to be a good feeder program into the national competition. When is this year's Soca Rising Stars competition?
All right, our competition is Saturday, April the 1st at on the school grounds. It's going to be 6 p.m., but the doors will open at 5 p.m.
Right.
So we have 12 contestants taking part, vying for 2 crowns. So we have the Calypso competition and then the Soca competition.
Sweet. I love it. I love it. This is so wonderful to see the children do this. I suppose you have some males in the competitions as well, right?
Yes.
Good.
Once before we had predominantly males, but this year the girls are taking over. We have 3 males this year. You would have recognized the name King K, Kadarius, Allen, right, Ethan, Little E, Edie. He was also, both of them were in the competition. And then we have Jazari as well, Jazzy B.
It's going to be ding-dong battle indeed. But you know, Majestic Maya, you're no stranger to competitions at all. I mean, you've been in the Junior Monarch competition, as a matter of fact. Talk to me a little bit about what this competition means to you and how excited you are to perform on the 1st of April.
It really means a lot. Sometimes I get nervous, but I overcome that fear.
Overcome that fear. What do you do?
I pay attention to my song and don't pay attention to the crowd.
I like you. I like you. Pay attention to your song and not pay attention to the crowd. Sing above their heads, girl. And so, what is it that you're entering this year's competition with?
I'm entering it with soca.
Ah, you're doing soca. What's your soca song?
We crop over.
Tell me a little bit about what is it? Give me a little bit about what the We Crop Over is about.
My song is about celebrating crop over, and other people from other countries can come to Barbados and celebrate it with us.
Wow. And I suppose you've been doing a lot of training to make sure that you are ready. Who has been working with you?
Miss Hopperson and Miss Davis.
And are they
And
difficult?
just me.
And are they difficult to work with, or are you having lots of fun?
I'm having lots of fun.
Now, you said you're entering the soca category. Is there any particular soca artist who you think is really outstanding, who you will want to model yourself after?
I do not have a favorite, but I really look up to Justy, Alison Hayes, and Rihanna.
All right. Well, that's fair. Those are yours and those are yours. And so, Miss Rebecca Carrington, you are also in the competition, and you're going by what? Do you have a stage name, or are you just simply being called Rebecca? Rebecca, can you hear me?
Yes, please. My stage name. Yes.
Your stage name is?
My stage name.
All right. Tell me a little bit about your song.
My song is about stop the bullying and how to stop bullying other children, because bullying is not good for anybody.
You're absolutely right. How old are you, Rebecca?
I am 9 years old.
Oh, wonderful. You're so... And is this your first singing competition?
Yes.
You're going to do well. You're going to be nervous, but that's all right. You're going to do very, very well indeed. And are you entering the Calypso competition, or are you in the soca competition? Rebecca?
Entering the Calypso.
All right.
Entering the Calypso competition.
Well done indeed. And so, Ms. Holford, Sam, to hear these two beautiful little girls share so boldly, there's a lot that has happened through this competition as well to develop, their, I was going to say pluck, but that's an old-fashioned word, their confidence, to be able to share in the way that they have. Talk to me a little bit about those other intangibles that do come from engaging in this competition.
Right. Well, the plus for me and the others on the team is that these children are all very intelligent, and they're always excited to do their best and to try. And one of our expectations at the school would be give of your best. So that is what they know, that from a nursery coming up, that they must give of their best. Things we do is we work on stage. I just encourage them. I just bring my joy for the genre. That's the truth. And I'm very excited about it. Bring my joy, bring my passion. I model my expectations for them, and then they emulate. And it's just a joy to do it. To always tell them, have fun, but give up their best.
Well,
and that is what the staff of all primary school, that's what we go for.
Give of your best. So it's on the 1st of April on the school grounds. You start at what time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Doors open from 5. We want to encourage all of you within wider Barbados, but the community of Vauxhall as well, and students to come to the school on that day, the 1st of April, to see the Vauxhall Soca Stars competition in Calypso and Soca. It's going to be quite an evening indeed. Thank you all for joining me. Carol-Ann Holford Sam, she's a teacher, she's also the coordinator, she's the founder of the Vauxhall Soca Stars competition. With her, two of the contestants themselves, little majestic Maya Wilson and Rebecca Carrington. They're both going to be competing, and we want to be there to give them our full support. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome indeed. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Matchback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade, or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
23 minutes after 7 o'clock. Now, I asked you at the beginning, what's in a name? You'll find out in just a moment, because our next guest, or this exceptional young woman, is a past student at the St. Michael's School, but she is brilliant in the field of endeavor that she pursues. Her name is Siobhan Bowen. Good morning to you, Siobhan.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Where in the world are you at the moment?
I'm currently in Washington, D.C.
In Washington, D.C. You left Barbados in 2014, having graduated from the St. Michael's School. But you took up an area of pursuit, a point of study that, a lot of Barbadians don't necessarily do. What is it that you studied?
In my undergraduate studies, I studied physics with engineering, with minors in Spanish and math.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've gone on to continue my master's in atmospheric science.
Now that is what I want to know about. What is that about?
So within atmospheric science research, we range from everything from air quality to global weather modeling, weather systems, all up to aerospace and aeronautical applications.
You know, I see the smile on your face when you talk about that because you somehow seem to enjoy it. What is it? I'm sure there are people watching to say, what about that to enjoy? What is it about it that you enjoy so much?
I enjoy my research, understanding how systems work in general in terms of aviation, in terms of weather systems, and just being out in field work and observations and just learning from the general scientific community.
Did you approach it from the point of view of saying, I'm just curious, I just want to know, and in knowing I'm studying, 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 or did you approach it from the position of, I'm curious, I want to know because I see I can serve in this way?
I see it from both angles. When I began my studies in undergrad, I was fortunate to be a part of the New York Academy Next Scholars Program, where I was introduced to my first mentor, and just being exposed to all the different ranges in the field and how I could give back and also contribute really inspired me to continue my journey on to now.
Part of the giving back of which you just spoke, is it to Barbados as well?
Yes, that is a part of it as well. Just completed my Davis Projects for Peace in Barbados. So I'm trying to give back in my small ways.
Wonderful indeed. And speaking of which, because somewhere over your right shoulder, in the corner there, I see among all the flags, one that stands out for me, the flag of Barbados. And you have it so proudly displayed right there. Yes! Why is that flag there, and what does that flag being there mean to you?
It reminds me of home. It reminds me of who I am and where I come from.
And so every time you look at it, it reminds you of home, who you are and where you come from. And I'm sure it engenders, therefore, very fond memories. Do you miss Barbados?
I do. Every day.
Every day.
But I'm glad to be able to come back and still proud to introduce Barbados to the world along with everyone else.
Well put, indeed. Now, the approach that is adopted through STEM as a form of education, that is one that you fully support. Give us reasons why you support that approach for education.
I see STEM as an interdisciplinary field in which we do see it in all forms of sectors, from finance to transportation, and I do see that there are many benefits, especially to Barbados, in implementing such programs, from technology to science and life sciences, and I just see so much potential in promoting and developing STEM, so that's why it's very important.
Having gone through our school system, though, how easy do you think it is to make the adjustment in our approach in education to include what you're talking about?
I do see there's potential growth, and I have seen growth over the past years since I've left Barbados. I do see it as a need to get more exposure to students, especially at a young age. So from primary school right on through to secondary school. Those are the integral years to get developed in STEM programs.
There once was a time when people thought girls in science, what? With hair and nails to do? You know? But a lot of that has changed, fortunately, over time. How do you feel about that evolution to the point now where girls are involved in science?
STEM is for everyone. So men, women, girls, boys, there's a place for you.
Indeed, so there's a place for you. When last were you in Barbados?
I was in Barbados last Christmas. Yes.
So is that your normal, regular routine? Every year for Christmas I'll come home? Or was it something that's brought you home? Or was it the first time home for Christmas?
No. I was home for Christmas to do some personal matters and to see my mom. But duty calls sometimes, so every chance I do get away from research or from school, I love to spend time with my family, especially my mom.
That is so lovely indeed, that your connection with your parents, your connection with your family, your connection with your mother means so much to you indeed, Siobhan. And so we really want to celebrate the work that you're doing, because we see the value from what you're doing to our, not just Barbados alone, but to the world in total. And so you are now for us one of our global citizens who has taken on this challenge to get out there, to recognize the world, to understand what's happening in our atmosphere around us, and to be able to impact positively on what's happening on our environments around us as well. I want to thank you so much, Siobhan Bowen, for joining us this morning. We celebrate your success thus far. We shall celebrate your success in the future. And we just want to let you know we are so immensely proud of you, and we consider you to be one of our exceptional young people of the world from Barbados. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome indeed. Stay as humble as you are. Thank you so much. Siobhan Bowen, she is studying aerodynamics, and so we can't wait to find out what else she does to please us indeed. We're taking a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 28 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. We shall take you on a journey that is absolutely beautiful this morning in just a little while. And we're also continuing to bring attention to this month, the month of the disabled, as there are people who we need to include within everything we do, because beauty is not just in the eyes of the beholder. Beauty is an experience. And so as we continue to change the lived experience of people with disabilities in Barbados through our actions, through our inclusiveness, through our everything, that is exactly what we want to look at today in just a little bit. Still to come as well. Remember I told you about Man-Child sometime earlier? Well, the Man-Child will join us this morning. That one-man show is on, and that one man will be on with me in just a little while, as well as he continues on stage to share with you from his perspective what it takes to be a man, to define who that man is. And he asks the question, do you know when you've become a man? And sometimes life just evolves as it does, and you're not even recognizing those milestones as they occur. And so the man behind Man-Child will be coming by to talk to us a little bit about how it has been and what it means for all of us when we come to the theater to watch him and to share in him and to be a part of the conversation around it as well. So, as I told you, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and every one of us has the ability to be able to engage in what that beauty truly is. Joining us are two beautiful ladies themselves. A friend of Mornin Barbados now, Juliana Ennis, a ceramic artist. Good morning, Juliana.
Good morning, Pearson.
Good to see you again.
Same here. Good
Wonderful. And you brought along Heidi Berger. Good morning to you, Heidi.
And good morning to you.
Welcome to Mornin Barbados.
Thank you.
You see, Juliana is a seasoned performer here at Mornin Barbados. We know her work, but we don't know much about you, Heidi. Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm an acrylic artist, and I paint the women of Barbados.
Oh, really?
Yes, portraits. It's my my aim to sort of right the inequality. There have been so many women in Western history that are all white. I want to straighten that out a bit.
That is fantastic, but it documents at the same time, because there are periods that of history, our history, that's lost. We sometimes get someone's memory, but you're saying no, it's not your memory. You're actually taking the time to document them now.
Yes.
When you paint the images of these women, this is great.
Correct.
And so this is what we're going to enjoy when we go out on the artist studio tours as well. And so, Juliana, how's it been going so far?
It's been going well. We had our first session in February, and overall I think we did very, very well. And we had a lot of people come through, all of the studios.
Yes.
People enjoyed the experience. Some people said it was like a scavenger hunt trying to find the locations. And people bought work, engaged with the artists.
Nice.
Overall, I think we had a good experience.
And that's the
in
whole
February.
point, to make art live.
And bring about awareness.
Exactly.
About the whole, yes.
They brought me the map, by the way. And this is exactly what we're talking about, because as you pick this up, it shows you just where you can go, the different locations where the studios are.
Yep, there are
and we want
30
people, 30.
33?
33 in
locations.
24 locations.
Really?
Yeah.
This is sweet. So the whole point is, folks, as you drive around, and we want to encourage you to get in your cars and you drive around and you go studio to studio, make a vacation of it, almost, you know. The same way you plan your road trips, plan this trip as well.
Absolutely. So it's this weekend and Saturday and Sunday. And as you said, look at the locations, decide where you want to go, get in your car, it's free.
Yeah.
Please come out, see the art, engage with the artists, bring children, you know, everybody. Come out and enjoy the
art is alive, art is living. And I got that when I went to see your exhibition, you remember?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness, you saw it, you felt the energy. And that's what we would want, that as people move around the island and go to these artist studios, that they get the chance to be able to experience themselves. The thrill. And I'm no artist. I'm no artist, but as again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But you behold the beauty of your craft, and you understand immediately yourself within all of that. And that's the kind of conversation, Heidi, I'm supposing, that you would want when people see the work.
Of course. And some of the artists are actually demonstrating when people come through, so you can see how the magic
I like that. How it unfolds, the magic as it unfolds.
Yes.
Now, this time you're taking the theme Transformative Solutions for Inclusive Development, which is part of the theme for, you know, in the month of the disabled as well. Am I reading that part correctly? Or is that part of the script I shouldn't have in there? Maybe I shouldn't have that part in there. Put that aside. But,
however, we should say that many of our studios are open to people with disabilities, with wheelchairs.
Oh, good.
So
it's accessible.
Yes. And the brochure indicates which studios are open to people with wheelchairs.
Yes,
that's right. I'm looking at it, and they want me to show you. So I'm going to show it to you. This is the map of Barbados. You see the little points, you know, that you can tag me your location.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. And with each location, go this way, you will see the symbol. Like, for instance, there, Heidi Berger. You see her right there in the screen, middle of your screen, folks. You see the symbol that suggests that wheelchair accessibility is possible. At the very top, Martina Pile, that's wheelchair accessible. Julia Seymour, Jan, Kevin Marcello, Adriana Seymour, Onika Small, Maria Stanford, all of these artists, and even more. And this is the map. You can actually go this way, Pearson. Scan the code. An interactive Google map is available at artiststudiotoursbarbados.com. Scan that code, and it takes you exactly where you want to go.
It's interactive GPS.
I got it. I got it. But on the flip side of that map, they're showing it to me. Good, so I don't have to hold this up. You get a sense of on this one piece of paper that I'm holding, of what you will experience and interface with when you come to the different artist studios. Is this free?
Absolutely. Completely, totally free. You can come through, speak to artists, see their work, ask them, see the demonstrations. We want to bring about awareness. You know, as Heidi said, when you're in your studio and you're working, it's often a very quiet sort of, but we now want to have the other side where we get feedback and interact with people and hear what they have to say. And this is what this is all about.
And one thing to mention is that 50% of the people who come to our studios are visitors. We track and we find out where people are coming from, because we'd like to know, we would like to make this a tourist attraction as well.
Yes.
The brochures are being distributed to most of the hotels. We've got 18,000 brochures out there.
Oh, nice.
They're everywhere.
You feel they're everywhere. Place near you.
They're at a place near you.
But that's good. You're opening up the space. And oftentimes, we often see from the movies that artists are so reclusive. They stay among themselves and head down and they just go at it. And then they take the time to reveal and they want to be apart from. And you're saying, no. Don't go by that storyline you see on your TV screens. Our artists here are prepared now to open their doors and have you come in, talk to them, get to know a little bit about why that's brush stroke, why do you carve what you do with your ceramics in the way you do? Why are you telling these stories, and how else can you tell the story? Because I'm sure you learn a lot too from those exchanges with the audience.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so and that's what we want. That's the kind of conversation that we will want happening. And over time, you develop the space in Barbados where Barbadians are now prepared not just to gape at it, but to purchase the art, to display the art, to interact with that art and share it with others across the world as well.
Absolutely.
This is brilliant. I love it. So give me a range. So Heidi, you paint, you do portraits, you do ceramics and that kind of thing. Who else and the different styles of the different artist studios?
Well, we've got textile artists here, Anne Rudder and Margaret Herbert. We have a sculptor, Kenneth Blackman. We have Adriana Seymour, who's doing baskets from newspaper and recycled paper.
Very unusual.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have
yes,
my
your
bag.
bag.
My bag is over there.
Oh, is that one of them?
Yes, it's one.
Yes. So we have a real selection and a wide range of creativity, and a variety of painters using acrylics and oils and
encaustic,
all
which
kinds
is painting
of,
with
wax.
Ooh.
So all kinds of.
Very nice, very interesting indeed. And so we go all over the island, folks. Make this your island tour. It's this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
Saturday and Sunday, between 11 and 4.
Right.
But of course, all the artists have their contact information here. So keep in mind, artists paint all year round.
All the time.
So if you can't come this weekend, give them a call.
Yes.
They'll be happy to welcome you another time.
Indeed so. This Saturday and Sunday from 11 in the morning till 4. Don't rush the tour. I'm sure you can't rush the tour. Once you stop at the studio, you'll find yourself there for a little while, but plot your time carefully so you get in as many of the studios as you possibly can. And in doing so, again, don't rush the experience. Trust me, it is going to be one that is forever memorable. I shall never forget. Heidi, I'm going to tell you, I shall never forget the day that I walked into that studio. You know where it was? At the plantation.
In Brighton?
In Brighton's plantation.
Oh.
And mind you, I'd spoken to Juliana before, but to see it in real life and how almost life-size they were, the pieces were.
It was a brilliant
Well
exhibition.
said.
Brilliant.
Well said.
She's something else.
She is truly, she's outstanding. She's truly outstanding indeed. And all of our artists are equally outstanding. And that's what we would want, that you have that experience. I would want you to have the same experience as I've had, really and truly. So I want to encourage as many of you as possible, get the maps. And where can we pick up these maps?
Massey's.
Massey?
Oh.
Yeah.
For example.
Okay.
Massey's.
Everybody goes there.
They were sent out to I don't know, 4,000 were sent out to the various areas by mail.
Right.
To the neighborhoods.
By mail drop.
Where to pick them up?
So, Massey.
Yeah.
Well,
everybody knows where that is.
Art stores, galleries.
Art stores, cafes.
Yes. Hotels.
Yes, hotels.
You know, they're everywhere.
They're
Get
everywhere.
your map, plot your route, plot your time. 11 till 4, Saturday and Sunday. The artist studio tours are on and they're absolutely free. Absolutely free. You pay your petrol and you go. And when you're there, take your time to have the conversations. Take your time perhaps to have a piece of art done. Take your time to also purchase a piece of art from Barbados as well, from all of our lovely artists here on the island.
I just wanted to say one last thing. This event would not have been possible without the support from our sponsors.
Yes.
Right? Sugar Bay, the National Cultural Foundation. We have, every studio will have one of these, thanking our sponsors because it is a partnership.
The camera's going to pick it up, that's fine.
It's a partnership.
Yeah.
For us to be able to do this, We have support from a number of businesses and government agencies as well as private businesses, and we want to say thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. And yes, a big thank you to all indeed in supporting art.
Yes.
And now it's up to each of us to continue to show our support to our artists as well in the Artist Studio Tours Barbados. It is on this weekend, 11 to 4, Saturday and Sunday, and it's for all ages. This is not a mature adult thing. These are children things as well. If you have a little one in your home who's doodling, like Melissa, our sound tech this morning, his daughter Melissa is brilliant at art already. She reminds me, what's his name? Basquiat.
Okay.
She is so good. She is so good. And I would want him, Christopher, take Melissa on the artist studio tours. She is going to learn a lot. So bring the little ones along. Let them see the different styles, the different applications of the things that they love to do, and let them see the potential and the possibility of the things that they love to do as well. And we develop these budding artists as we go.
We need to do that.
Ladies, I thank you.
Thank you.
I can't wait. Is it Saturday yet? Is it Sunday yet? So folks, we're heading on to the Artist Studio Tours Barbados. Indeed, get your map, plot your route, plot your time, and you go. Go indeed. Juliana, it is as always wonderful having you. You've inspired me though to see art totally differently.
Oh, wonderful. Well,
yeah,
good. I've done my job then.
She's done a fantastic job, as a matter of fact. Where there's Heidi Berger indeed, and Heidi does portraits. So ladies, if you want to be, if you haven't had that portraiture of yourself, check out Heidi. Heidi will do it for you indeed. Document a period of time, and it will forever hang beautifully somewhere in your home. I want to thank you all the best. Wish you best with this particular tour as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome indeed. We'll take a break here after that beautiful exchange, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
13 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. Neil Waith is one man. Neil Waith is that one man who does that one-man show that is called Man-Child. Neil Waith, that one man, the Man-Child, is right there on your screen. Neil, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great, my brother. Good to see you. How has it gone so far? Weekend number one.
Weekend number one. You see, the bubbles are coming down. I actually wanted to read a comment from one of your viewers. Someone actually saw it on Mornin Barbados, and they said they absolutely had to come. So I want to thank the Mornin Barbados team for just having me on. It's been a great assistance to getting people out there knowing about the show. They sent me a message and they said the energy, the control, the freedom, the imprisonment, the laughter, the sadness, sympathy, empathy, knowledge, ignorance, emotional roller coaster, and more.
Wow.
That's
a powerful, powerful critique right there. But that's exactly what you wanted to evoke from Man-Child, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, precisely. And there was also many comments. People sent me paragraphs talking about how they could sit in the theater for hours after just thinking. A lot of the comments have been introspective. People thinking about their own childhood, specifically as it relates to art and art making, and how they used to make art and how they may have suppressed some of these natural talents, natural abilities, and just things that they do for fun. I have a Q&A session after, and I always encourage everyone in the audience to embrace their art side. embrace their childlike side. Don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid to play. So that's been a recurring theme in the work.
Interesting indeed. Don't be afraid to play. And
yes,
when you say that, what do you mean by that?
Well, too often we turn into adults, and for us, adults usually means stiffening up and working on bills and being very serious. And sometimes it's only when either people who work with children or people who have children, they find back this joy.
Yes.
And not everyone has that opportunity. So I want to always encourage people to find that joy, find that childlike wonder, that amazement. Don't be too jaded. Don't be too stiff. Don't be too tense. Tension and stress is a great challenge to our health. So that's a big part of it. When people come to the show, they are encouraged to play in a very real way, whether that means hula hoops, whether that means blowing bubbles, whether that means playing with a football, a basketball. There is something for everyone to do as soon as you get to the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre.
So it's very inclusive. I mean, it's a full experience from walking in right through to the end of the production. And that's
very
good.
Much so.
So it puts you right back into the space, so we understand the production when you go on the stage, because in that production you're probing, you're asking certain questions. Do you know when you become a man? Can you understand when you become a man, what it means to be a man? All of those things you ask, and when you ask, it causes all of us to stop and reflect, because none of us, I think, as males, can ever remember the...
And really, I want to show that it's possible. There are avenues, there is help, there is assistance, and asking for help has also been a real theme of the work. To ask for help from ask for help from your family, ask for help from your friends. You don't have to go through anything alone.
My goodness me, boy, you've really given thought to this whole production indeed. You're right, because as men we think we should carry the burden alone. We shouldn't ask for help. And you're saying it's okay to ask for help, because the series Man-Child helps you to be able to understand why that is not a sign of weakness. It is actually a sign of strength when you do rise above yourself, and to be able to do so. So for those who have not yet been, when are you showing again? When are you next on stage?
Okay, so we had a great weekend, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, sorry. Some schools came and attended. We got the Lodge School, Dighton Griffith School, and all the schools who've come and attended the Friday shows. And this weekend, again, we are on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And the 10th is on Friday. That starts at 12 p.m. And every public is free to come on down. That's a $20 show. And then on Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th, starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are $35. You can get them from Soul Warrens, iShop Sheraton, or you can get them from CS Pharmacy in Bridgetown. You can also find them from the National Cultural Foundation or myself.
Simple so folks. Man-Child, Neil Waith. And it's a one-man production, right, Neil?
It's a one-man production,
You know what I mean?
one-man show. I like to say one-person play, because I still figuring out this manhood thing. By some definitions, I may not be a man.
And that's good. That's good. It's a one-person show by that man we see on our screen, Neil Waith indeed, and it's at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre. If you're going on Friday, you go for 12 noon. If you're going on Saturday and Sunday, you go for 7 o'clock. But you need to get a ticket to get in. And once you get in, you have all of those childlike moments, whether it's blowing the bubble, playing with the ball, whatever the case may be, and you seat yourself and be ready. So it's important that you get there early before the start of the stage performance.
Well, I of all the interviews I've done, I really enjoyed our last interview, so I have not really revealed that the 7 o'clock start is really the start of the play. Not the play that you're watching, but the... So it is twofold. It's one, to get you in the psychological space of childlike behavior, but also it's a little trick, because I've done this for so many years, and the honest truth is people get to events very late, or they get there immediately on time. In the case of a one-person play, when I am one person playing 3 characters, it's very important to me that people get the establishment of the characters, that they catch the first 5 minutes of the work. So a lot of what I set up in the buffering of the 7 o'clock or the 12 o'clock start is also to allow for people to get there, for late people to take a breath, for early people to relax. So you're not rushing into the theater, you're not rushing in to see this play. I want that the audience have looked at each other, they have interacted with each other, they're coming in and they're treated as young boys going through a rite of passage. This play is your rite of passage.
You're so clever. You've given such thought from it to it, and I like that. Where did you study, by the way, Neil, so that you get all of that? You have such clear thoughts about what you're doing.
Well, I've been at least studying now for, my goodness, probably 12 years running, when all combined. So I started at the Barbados Center for Creative Imagination at the Cave Hill campus, and I would have done a Bachelor of Fine Arts there. I then went to Jamaica to do a Bachelor of Fine Arts again, because I love fine arts so much, apparently. But it was more intense, more practical. There I also picked up lighting design. I mastered on photography. I did a lot of videography as well. I worked with dancers, I worked with musicians, I worked with art managers at Edna Manley in Jamaica. And now I'm back doing my master's in creative arts, again with a specialty in education and entrepreneurship. So it just has been a continuous growing. For me, it's learn, perform, grow. And in between, I've done a lot of teaching and facilitating in juvenile systems, in programs. It never ends. The work never ends. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot that people don't realize or understand about the power of theater and performance and art. And I try to use art making as therapy, really. Therapy that you can do through just introspection.
Wow. And those 12 years, folks, are what we're going to experience at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre from this Friday. Friday's show is at 12 noon. Saturday and Sunday, he's on stage again from 7 in the evening. You can be there. And you can be there by getting your tickets. Again, remind us of the box offices, Neil.
So the box offices are CS Pharmacy in Bridgetown, Soul Warrens, iShop Sheraton. You can get it from Ticket Links, ticketlinks.com. You can get it from the National Cultural Foundation or from Nubian Naturals, that is in West Terrace. And I want to also encourage people to get tickets because they are going fast.
Yes.
But you can pay at the door. If you want to chance it, you can chance it. But the theater only seats 208. We also have wheelchair access. You can get up through the elevator, and we have access for 8 wheelchairs in the theater. Should anyone wants to come, I think that's a limitation. We can get you there. We can get you comfortable as well.
Wonderful. Get there and get there to go through the rite of passage, Man-Child, written, performed by Neil Waith and directed by Sonia. And so we want to encourage as many of you as possible to get out, get your ticket and get into the theatre, Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre, this weekend for this final production of Man-Child with Neil Waith, a great guy. 12 years in the journey, but 12 years of experience just bottled into one performance is not enough. So Neil, we will want you to do even more, and I'm sure more will flow from your creativity. Look, the bubbles are going. We'll do more get more from your creativity as time evolves as well. Wish you the very best, Neil, for this production of Man-Child, and I hope many people do come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you and all your staff there. And maybe calling on you on stage.
Oh, no, boy.
Oh.
Thank you, Neil. Have a good day, okay? Good man.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks. Before we go, today's Thursday. As you know, we always say today is Q Day. So where is Q in the community today? Q in the community today is at the Indian Ground Community Pavilion, that's in St. Peter, and we want to encourage as many of you as possible to catch the bus. The bus will leave from gate number 1 of the Granville Williams bus terminal in Bridgetown and take you down to Q in the community at the Indian Ground Community Pavilion in St. Peter to DAY. Of course, we'll have live coverage on Q 100.7 FM from 2 o'clock this afternoon, but all the action would start from 11 this morning at the Indian Ground Community Pavilion in St. Peter. Follow me to Q. Enjoy your day today. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being with us. Thanks to my producer, Alicia Asgrant. Our technical director has been Samuel Mason, assisted by Ruel Ford, and sound by Christopher Blenman. At Master Control, Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyne. For all of them, to each of you, we say thank you. Come back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.